Good afternoon and welcome to this TESPN broadcast. Woodberry Forest Tigers, Trinity Episcopal Titans, and I'm Rick Hamlin, joined by my main man on Senior Day, Silvio Troy, Senior himself.
Yeah.
And Silvio, it would be hard for me to be more excited than I am right now, and I'm going to tell you why.
Yeah.
Senior Day for 19 seniors who have served this program in an incredible fashion.
Yeah.
It is also a Prep League championship on the line, which would be a back-to-back for the Titans if they can get it. But Woodberry is undefeated in the Prep League as well. It has huge implications for the Titans in terms of making the state playoffs and trying for that three-peat of the state title. It is a perfect, beautiful fall day. If anything, maybe not quite perfect, a little warm. But you see on your screen the leaves are changing, and the Tigers kick off to the Titans, and what a kickoff it is through the end zone by the four-star kicker, Lucas Osada. Silvio, you can hear the excitement in my voice. How psyched are you, my man?
Oh, I'm so psyched. Senior day for a lot of these guys. I've been going to school with 4 years, getting to know them quite well. A lot of my, very good friends are on the football team, and can't wait to see them perform. Probably one of my last home games up in this broadcast booth, and very excited to talk this one through all the way.
Yeah, there is a chance we could maybe host a state playoff game. Certainly would need to win this to have any chance of that, but pretty likely that this will be our last opportunity to broadcast here in Aycock Stadium this season. And for you, as a Trinity student, at least for football, maybe you'll come back next year and do an alum broadcast like Griffin Wright did for soccer. And first play of the game is a good one for the Titans, and that is one of those seniors, Trey Grant, carrying it for an 8-yard gain.
Something we're very casual seeing Trey Grant do is kind of bulldoze through the Woodberry Forest, and I'm very excited. Today we're going to see a lot of strong running, and I'm excited to see Trey Grant, James Woodward for the Titans, and some of the very strong runs on the Tigers, do their stuff today.
Yeah, these two teams come in both undefeated in Prep League play, and Tigers on a 3-game winning streak overall. There's another great run by Trey Grant, this one for 14 yards and a first down. And the Titans, of course, coming off that come-from-behind win last Saturday at St. Christopher's, coming back from double digits in the second half. So Titans come in with some momentum, and the Tigers had a bye last week, so they've had a chance to heal up and freshen up. They beat the Saints in overtime 2 weeks ago. So each of these teams come in having just beaten St. Christopher's, both in very tight, close games. That snap's a little high, but Tegan Logan hands the ball to Devion Brown, and he's on the left side, and Devion Brown is gone. Touchdown, Titans. No flags.
Run by number 4,
and Trinity strikes first blood.
What a masterful play there. I was worried at the beginning, high snap. We've been seeing that from Ryan Mitchell, UPenn commit there, another one of our seniors. He has been struggling a bit in recent games, controlling that snap. Not sure exactly what's going on there, but seeing the run off to Devion Brown, normally one of the wide receivers, and the speed he can have there. He has the height, he has the speed, and he was able to go by those two Tiger defenders perfectly to run down the line for a touchdown.
Yeah, as soon as he broke through the hole, I saw a couple of the coaches as Evan Goldschmidt nails the extra point. To finish that thought, Silvio, I saw a couple of the coaches just immediately put their hands up for that touchdown sign when he was still 40 yards from the end zone. Somebody else I saw wave him bye-bye. You're just not going to catch him.
Yeah,
once he breaks through.
There's a couple guys on the roster, again, where they have speed, and you cannot catch them when they get off. And Devion Brown is one of those guys that you have to be looking out for.
Yeah, credit to offensive coordinator Malcolm Bell. As you mentioned, Devion usually plays wide receiver, but on that particular play, he was able to put him in the backfield at a tailback position, and offensive line blew up a great hole for Devion to run through, and once he got through that hole, he knew exactly what to do. So a great, pretty much dream start for the Titans.
Oh, yeah. What was that, 3 plays?
3 plays, an 8-yard run, a 14-yard run, and a 58-yard run, so 80 yards on the ground. And the ensuing kickoff is bobbled, and now a slip by the Tigers return man. Sheldon Robinson struggled to handle the kickoff, and then when he did scoop it up, he lost his footing. So the Tigers will take over at their own 20 for their first possession of the game. Quarterback today, Phillips Blair, the freshman, stepping in at the QB position, and Titans have to burn a timeout on the very first play from scrimmage defensively, as looked like they were going to have 12 men on the field. Bowen Knight was sprinting to get off the field, but they went ahead and burned the timeout rather than take that penalty, and that's got to be a frustrating one for the coaches.
And I
mean, first play, you'd think you would know who's starting.
And I feel like we've seen this, I think, a couple times through the season from the Titans where they've had to burn timeouts either the first half or second half because of too many men on the field. We've seen miscommunications from maybe the 2 deuces. We've seen that happen here. I was at St. Chris last week. They did have to burn one because of too many men on the field again. I mean, it is hard with a lot of your players being out at the beginning of the season, so you're not exactly sure who's going to be starting, who's not going to be starting, and they have a very deep roster, which could also probably cause some of those problems.
Yeah, and I noticed Ryan Mitchell, who was in originally, he's actually out now, and Bowen Knight is in, so maybe that's where the confusion was. Good first offensive play for the Tigers, and they hit a pass out to Jaden Ferguson, and Ferguson gets first down yardage on that first play. Well-designed play by Woodberry, 15-yard gain, and it's a great way for them to start.
Got also there by Jay Williams, number 7 on the Titans. I mean, he was behind the defender by maybe 4 or 5 yards, and he hustled to tackle from behind there. So good stop. Other than that, Jaden could have exploded for a lot more yards there.
Titans have it. Trey Cherry scoops it up. And on senior day, the freshman Trey Cherry picks up the fumble and takes it all the way to the Tigers' 16-yard line. And the dream start continues for the Titans.
25 there, James Woodward was in charge of getting that fumble to happen, is what it appears on the sideline if he's getting all the hype right now. So great play by James Woodward. Woody there.
Yeah,
that man.
Woody doing it on both ends this year, running back on the offense and playing in the defensive backfield defensively, and that was a perfect form tackle. And he also took the ball, and when this game is over, or perhaps at halftime, while you're on our YouTube page, you should check out our interview that we had a couple of days ago with James Woodward, Cameron Walker, and Bowen Knight on the TESPN podcast. Really thoughtful, intelligent young men, student athletes who represent our school impeccably.
Oh, yeah,
and
what a
James
great interview there.
was one of them. Yeah, I was really pleased with that one. Joe Turkley and I had a chance to catch up with those guys. All right, so 4-yard gain there on the first down, handoff to Grant. Yet to see Tegan Logan throw the ball yet, but with 3 wide receivers, we got Deuce to the high side, Brennan Ridley in the slot, and Devion Brown. But this is going to be a handoff to Trey Grant. Touchdown Titans. 2 minutes and 22 seconds into the game, and that's 2 touchdowns on the ground for the Titans.
Yeah, I mean, I knew the running game was going to be strong by both teams coming out today. To definitely not think that Trey Grant's going to be able to find such easy holes on this very strong defense of the Woodberry Tigers. And I mean, that hole was perfectly opened by some of the O-linemen there for Trey Grant to perfectly get in the end zone there.
And the extra point is good by Evan Goldschmidt. And just like that, Trinity Episcopal with a 14-0 lead. And for folks who may have tuned in just a few minutes late and seen this score, Silvio, a game that, and it certainly still could go down to the wire, but one that I know people asked me this week what to expect, and I said I think this one's going to be really, really close to really evenly matched teams, and it certainly could prove to, ultimately turn out that way, but I would not have expected. I'll put it this way: if I was just tuning in and saw 14-0 and just over 2 minutes off the clock, I would be shocked.
Oh, for sure. I think I actually am shocked right now of how kind of easily the Titans had it on that drive, especially with that run. I think Woodberry has a lot to do right now. I think as you just said, only 2 minutes into this game so far. There's still a lot of game to play, a lot of plays to be called still, and I think there's a lot of corrections to be made on both ends.
Yeah, an incredible job by the offensive line so far. A lot of those guys are seniors, and they're really establishing their will on senior day. It's a good kick return out across the 20 to about the 25. Sheldon Robinson for the Tigers.
I think, as you just said, a lot of those O-linemen are seniors. We have Ryan Mitchell, Will Rosen, Cooper Gardner, some of the big guys that have been kind of holding down this line since they've been on the team. So it's great to see a lot of those guys getting the credit they deserve, with Trey Grant really running the ball so far.
Yeah, still only 5 plays from scrimmage for the Titans, and all 5 have gone for positive yards. They do a nice job stringing that out, and tackle by several Titans, including Trey Cherry. As usual, Jay Williams was in the mix. I think Ryan Mitchell, Deuce Edwards set the edge. Still a decent gain, though, for the Tigers of about 6 yards. So 2nd and 4. This time quarterback keeps, and he runs it for a 9-yard gain. Nice job there by Phillips Blair, the freshman, as he was able to, I think, fake out Titan D-line, and they all bought the fake handoff, and Blair took it himself for 9.
Great to see from a freshman there. Normally you have young quarterbacks or quarterbacks in general maybe a bit afraid to run, but he had legs on him, and he was moving.
This is a toss wide. Couple Titans in the backfield, and that's one of the better 1-yard runs you'll ever see, because by all accounts, the Tiger running back there probably should have been thrown for about a 5-yard loss. Instead, he picked up about 2, actually. So, well, now they've moved the ball back. So more like I initially thought, just about a 1-yard gain. I believe that was Sevion Hyder on the run there. This time it's Hyder on a little swing pass, and he shows off his speed to get the edge and pick up 5 yards, and it's going to make it 3rd down and 4.
I mean, great simple run there. I think we're going to see a lot of, corners and safeties having a big role today. James Woodward, Deuce Edwards. I mean, a lot of those guys are going to have to really perform with all the wide receivers that Woodberry put on that play right there. I think they had 3, maybe 4. There was a lot of guys running downfield there. And with Hyder also on the running back, you got to watch out for both close and far. So I'm pretty excited to see what they can do.
Hyder again. He's going to go. He's going all the way this time. And
10,
from 54 yards out, Sevion Hyder brings the Tigers back within 1 possession. And we said it, Silvio, a couple minutes ago, that we thought this would be a close game. And despite the perfect start for the Titans, Woodberry is hit back, as you would expect them to do, and we know Sevion Hyder is a very highly recruited, heavily touted running back. The sophomore went 54 yards there and showed off his incredible speed. Once he got through, he was gone.
Yeah. Also a pretty big guy. He was able to blow past 2 of the Titan defenders there.
And that extra point is easily good, and I think maybe the first time I can ever remember a football just about hit the Estes Athletic Center.
Yeah.
So
There's
the
Lucas
leg
Osada
of
for you.
Lucas Osada is a big weapon, and Silvio, you reminded me in the pregame that 2 years ago when these teams met on this field that we were really impressed with Osada's kicking, and
we were for sure.
he is still here, class of 24 like yourself.
Going to play at UNC, looked it up, had a lot of great offers, so great for him going to his very, very powerful leg to go play at UNC, so great to see him. And again, also pretty rare for, I think we said this probably a couple years ago also, I mean, that's a powerful leg. That is you don't see touchbacks very often, I mean, which is also a very big part of the Titans game, so it's going to be difficult for Brendan Ridley, Davion Brown, or some of the other guys that we have out there to really get the yardage that we're normally used to be seeing.
Yeah, and we're going to get to see Osada do his thing again here on this kickoff, and I would venture a guess that we will not see a return. I think it's going to go for a touchback again. And then you make a great point. That means every time you're starting from your own 20, whereas a lot of times we see the Titans with their strong return game usually start around the 35 or 40.
Yeah.
And those yards add up. It's kind of those hidden yards of field position. And sure enough, through the end zone, and Titans will indeed take over at the 20 as predicted. Another handoff, and strong run by Davion Brown, picks up 7.
Run by number 4, Davion Brown to the 28. Second down.
Again, we still have not seen Tegan Logan throw the ball today, but Titans are making great work with the running game with Trey Grant, Davion Brown so far with the only 2 running backs. Hopefully to see James Woodward also out there in the mix.
Yeah, it looks like Bryden Kelly has just come in at the wide receiver position, and Deuce Edwards and Brennan Ridley. So they're all 3 wide, but it's another handoff to Brown, and he will pick up the first down, 4 yards. He needed 3.
Run by number 4, Davion Brown to the 31. That's the Titans' first down.
Still plenty of time on the play clock as Tegan Logan looks over to the sidelines to Coach Bell for instructions. Well, now the play clock is becoming a factor, down to 3, 2, and they just got it off, and they are looking to throw for the first time. Davion Brown with an incredible catch. They're going to say he did not get a foot inbounds, and ref had a pretty good angle on it. So
I think as we said, though, what a catch.
Yeah, amazing catch.
One-on-one coverage there with number 14, Sheldon Robinson, and he was still able to just jump right above him, get that catch.
Yeah, so in high school you got to get 1 foot down inbounds, and it was kind of right below our perch in the press box. I thought maybe he did, but the official, to be fair, has a better angle, and I don't see the coaching staff complaining too much either. So guess he was just out of bounds. Not a great snap, but Tegan hands it off this time to Trey Grant. Good gain for Trey. He picked up 7. So it'll be 3rd and 3 as we pass the midway point of the first quarter.
Talking about, the first pass from Tegan Logan, that looked like a, I was a bit worried that we weren't throwing a lot. Maybe Tegan wasn't feeling the best, but that throw looks spot on. So I'm really excited to see what Tegan's able to do for the rest of the game.
Yeah, Tegan's been fighting through some things all season and missed the Rock Creek game. So that was a good indication, though, that his arm is looking just fine. And it was a beautiful throw and a beautiful catch. And time out Trinity. So that's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in the first half. And some of those operations type of issues that we really didn't see last year. You mentioned it earlier in the quarter when they had to call the timeout on defense. A little bit frustrating for Coach Mickens, I'm sure, that have to clean these things up, not have to waste these timeouts.
Yeah.
But as you and I have talked about many times in our 3 years doing this together, I think it's a much bigger factor in the second half when the clock at times can really be the most important thing, and having those timeouts in your pocket
for sure
is crucial. In the first half, not ideal, but I don't think it's as big an issue as it would be in the second. All right, timeout was a quick one, and this is a big play too. On 3rd and 3, really want to keep possession here. So I think if you weren't lined up how you wanted, calling that timeout and getting squared away does make a lot of sense.
Yeah. I think it's, as we just said, a lot of sense, but also for momentum's sakes, is this would, if Woodberry does make the stop here.
It's another great catch in traffic by Devion Brown. He was triple teamed, but Tegan Logan put it up there, and Brown was able to catch it. They needed a 3-yard gain. They got 4, and that is a Titan first down.
I mean, yeah, again, I was going to say there, if Woodberry would have made the stop there, they would have been able to really gain a lot of momentum. And I think that's going to be a giant factor in how the Titans and Tigers play today.
That throw was too high for Brown. And even with his impressive vertical, he couldn't come down with that one. I think even if he had caught it, he had no room to run and probably would have been tackled for no gain. So the incompletion, no gain anyway, not a huge problem. 2nd and 10.
I was going to mention that Davion Brown's vertical has got to be one of the highest verticals I have ever seen in person. It is insane how high he can jump up in the air.
Yeah, and he also runs like 4.4 speed. Trey Grant doesn't necessarily have 4.4 speed, but he has 4.0 toughness. Trey Grant loves contact, loves to run between the tackles, and he's a hard man to bring down. He ain't slow either.
Oh, no, not at all.
And like so first down there, yeah.
I think, something we've been so often that we saw a couple years ago, Trey Grant kind of leading the running game. And I think, overall the running game's developed so much for the Titans where they can do so much. Where they have Trey Grant, they have Davion Brown this game, they'll have James Woodward. And again, Trey Grant runs it for 9, maybe 10 yards.
Trey's running angry, and he picked up another 10 and yet another first down. And Trey Grant carried it, I think, about 6 times already, all for positive gains. I think his shortest gain was 4, and several others of double digits, and he's got to already be over 50 yards here in the first quarter. He's looking for Devion Brown again, and it is intercepted by the Tigers. Number 3, Lucas Sanker, at his own 5-yard line. Great ball skills shown by Sanker there, as maybe just a little bit underthrown. And
as well as Davion Brown being overcovered there by 2 guys right on him. Not much you can expect from Davion Brown when there are just so many guys in the area, but as well as that ball was kind of right in the middle. He really had to fight for that one.
Yeah, so that's a big stop for the Tigers. First 2 Titan possessions resulted in touchdowns. So that's the first time the Tigers have been able to get their defense off the field without giving up points, and they got to feel good about where they are considering the quick 14-point deficit in the first 2 minutes and change, and now a touchdown here, and they're tied up, but they have 95 yards to go, and with Sevion and Hyder in the backfield,
Run by number 5.
they could get it on any given play, but not that one, as Hyder carried for no gain. Couldn't make out who made the tackle, but it was a good
11,
one.
Mason Love.
Mason Love, nice.
Pretty sure 11.
Sophomore. 2nd and 10 as quarterback Phillips Blair stands pretty much at his own goal line in the shotgun. Looking to pass this time. And he just throws it away. Incomplete. And we do have a Tiger player down.
By number 48, Phillips Blair, incomplete.
Junior Saunders shaken up after the play, and training staff is quick to get out there. Looks like he's holding, I think, a shoulder maybe. It looks like an upper body situation for Junior. And hope he's okay. Just a freshman. He already has offers from Virginia Tech and NC State. And even though he's just a 9th grader, 6'5", 285.
Wow.
Young man with a lot of potential, and we just hope that he is all right. And Saunders is getting up, so that's good to see. But does seem to be holding maybe his left shoulder. And hope it's not serious.
Talking about one of the other big guys, Cooper Gardner there. I was kind of laughing at myself on that play. He took on 2 O-linemen by himself and then was able to swing out to make sure Phillips Blair went out of bounds there. So a lot of credit to the Italian style and Cooper Gardner there.
Well,
for doing a lot on that play.
Well, Silvio, are you the junior Italian stallion?
Oh, no, I don't think I qualify for that title. He's a
All
bit
right,
bigger
this
than
is
I
a big play on 3rd and 10, and just miscommunication, I think, between Blair and his intended receiver, Dizier Carter. And so a great job by the Titan defense to make the Tigers go 3 and out. And despite Tegan Logan's interception, Titans kind of no harm, no foul. They should get field position just about where they had the ball prior to the turnover. Although with Lucas Osada's leg, it's possible that it may not be quite as good a field position as you would expect from most high school kickers. It's Britton Ridley back, I think, to receive the punt, standing at his own 42, 43-yard line. Low snap, but Osada gets off a high kick, bounces at the 45, and takes a huge Woodberry roll, about 17 yards of roll on it. So I think Trinity was at about the 42 of Woodberry when they had the interception. Now they're going to take over at their own 38. So that's a net loss of about 20 from where they had it previously. And with just about any other team we've seen, you just don't see punts like that in high school. That's let's see, 45 plus 13. That's a 58-yard punt with no return. What a weapon Lucas Osada is, his leg is for the Tigers. No gain for Devion Brown, and also we see our first flag of the game. Been a pretty clean game so far, but that flag came typically where you might see a holding penalty. It's definitely against the Titans. And indeed it is holding against Trinity, and Woodbury is going to take the penalty. They had the option to decline. It would have been 2nd and 10. They're going to take it and make it more like 1st and 20.
And then again, when you get those O-linemen out there kind of pretty far off the line, they get pretty far out. The first thing they want to do is hold. They don't want to, lead one of those D-linemen to get the sack on the runner. So I guess understandable.
Yeah, and it's also easy for the officials to spot it out in space
Yeah.
And Trey Grant with another great run. He picked up the first down. And
I think
yeah,
he might be going back though.
I don't see a flag, but there must be, because I guess my eyes must be deceiving me.
Some of the Titans players hiding it there.
So that's just a sideline warning. So I think the play will stand. And we saw this over at St. Christopher's last week where they got a sideline warning. Then the second time is a penalty. So ultimately the 21-yard run stands for Trey Grant, and that first down penalty does not come back to haunt them there. 1st and 10 from their own 49 for the Titans as the clock winds close to the 2-minute mark in the first quarter. Another great hole for Trey Grant. He gains 12 more yards across midfield. Tackle to the Tigers 40, but that is another first down. And Trey Grant has got to be coming close to 100 yards of rushing in the first quarter alone. And he had a lot of games like this last year, but this year he struggled a little bit with some injury early in the year and wasn't quite 100%, but he looks 100% today on Senior Day.
I mean, I think you just said first games. I mean, he's almost at 100 in the first quarter. I feel like he's been playing, I mean, all
and now
day.
Devion Brown makes a move. He runs for 13 and another first down. And I mean, with this two-headed monster in the backfield of Grant and Brown, the O-line doing their thing, opening up holes. You can see why Trinity is mostly choosing to keep it, for the most part, on the ground in quarter number one and just impose their will in the trenches.
I mean, then again, you look at Davion Brown. He doesn't look like the toughest guy like Trey Grant that could break those tackles there, but he brought Sheldon Robinson straight to the ground with a pretty big hit.
And there's Trey Grant again. A flag is going to come out, which I think is going to negate another incredible run. Trey Grant took it all the way inside the 5, but it is coming back for a hold.
Holding on the Titans.
And that flag came out pretty quickly. Bummer for Trey because he had another awesome run, and I'm actually not sure how much the hold really helped him. I think a lot of that run, he bounced it out wide, and he mostly did it on his own. We are seeing, it looks like James Woodward is going to check in to the backfield now and give Trey Grant a little rest.
But then again, you still have Davion Brown and James Woodward, both extremely fast and strong guys. You know, back there, you got to still be cautious. When Trey Grant's even off the field, you still got to watch out for the running game.
Exactly, and if the Tigers commit more guys in the box to try and stop the run, it's going to open things up in the pass. So as long as you can avoid those penalties, you kind of got them right where you want them offensively. Solid positive run for Devion Brown of 3 yards. But I think if you're Woodberry, you've got to be pretty happy with limiting him to just 3, as I think – I don't have the stats in front of me, but I got to think the average yards per rush in the first quarter for the Titans is close to 10. So holding them to just 3 has to feel like a win for the Tigers on that particular play. And if the Titans run it again here, it would likely be the last play of the first quarter. An incomplete pass, of course, would stop the clock, but we're down in about 15 seconds. It is a run. And James Woodward looked like he kind of lost his footing there and only picked up
Run by number 25, James Woodward.
1 yard. So that'll end the first quarter. The second quarter will start with a 3rd and long for the Titans in Woodbury territory. And what a good first quarter it was. A lot of positive plays for both teams. Great job running the football by the Titan offense. but Woodberry responded with their own big run by Savion Hyder of 50+ for a touchdown. And in this de facto Prep League Championship football game, after 1 quarter of play, your score, Trinity Episcopal 14, Woodberry Forest 7. We will take a very brief break. We'll be right back. This key 3rd down play, and good pressure provided there by the Tigers. Number 63, Nicholas Logan, got in the backfield and was able to get the hit on Tegan Logan. So the Tigers Logan hits the Titans Logan. That is all kind of challenging to say. And Trinity kind of in no man's land in terms of, too close for a punt, too far for a field goal. So it looks like Trinity is actually going to go for it here on 4th and 16 from the Tigers 33. At least that is the plan for now. But Woodberry burns their first timeout I think they want to make sure they have the right defense on the field.
The Titans were going pretty fast there. I think they did notice that some of the Woodberry normal defenders probably weren't on the field. They're still going fast, may have been the correct option. But again, 4th and 16, that's a lot. It is a lot to make up. And again, we have seen great plays by Trey Grant, Davion Brown, where they have been picking up those 14, 16, 20 yards. But we've only seen one good throw.
Yeah.
I mean, and I don't think Davion Brown was in bounds for that throw.
Right.
So you still haven't really seen a long throw shot. So again, you're going for the run game and hoping they get that 16, 20 yards that you need.
Yeah, so they do have the 3 wide receivers. Deuce Edwards to the far side. Brennan Ridley in the slot. Davion Brown near side here along the sidelines. And Woodberry in what looks like a cover 3 zone defense. It is going to be a pass play. Tegan has quite a bit of time, but now the pocket's starting to collapse. He throws it. It is intercepted by Woodberry's number 14, Sheldon Robinson.
What a day he's having.
He is having a heck of a day, and that's a great job to get his foot in, although as obviously he's really excited with the interception. But the funny thing is, if he had just knocked it down on 4th down, they actually would have had better field position and taken over at the line of scrimmage. So the interception actually cost the Tigers about 8 yards. But, hey, if you're a DB, you're taught to catch the ball. So I don't blame Sheldon Robinson one bit. But ultimately, from the Titans standpoint, if you weren't going to get it, probably better off to at least pick up that 8 yards of field position. So Tigers take over their 2nd straight interception, the last 2 defensive possessions. That's really good pressure there by Jordan Stiff. And the Titans have, I don't think that Trinity has a sack yet, but they've done a good job of pressuring Phillips Blair here in the first half.
Same for the Tigers as well. Immense pressure on that last play. We saw number 68. 63, Nicholas Logan with some great pressure, almost getting that sack. But then again, that's the second interception for Tegan Logan. He's thrown 2 so far. 1 from great coverage from the Tigers with 2-on-1 on Davion Brown, and then again there with a high pressure play, which you got to be worried and scared, what they're really gonna throw the ball this game.
2nd and 10, and looks like Phillips Blair changing the play. Play clock down to 3. And they get it off with 1, but there is a flag, and it's a false start on the Tigers. So it's going to be 2nd and 15 now.
And then again, I don't think we mentioned it this year, but a couple years ago we were able to get a hometown sheet from Woodberry. Woodberry boarding school, of course. They have people from all over the world. Me and Coach Carter Tyree were looking at the sheet earlier. They had some players from Canada, the UK, the Bahamas.
China.
Yeah, China. Not this year, not on the roster, but they do have students from China.
Oh, I thought I saw one. I looked at the one on their website. I thought I did see one from China, but, well, that is Hyder, who is from Louisa County, Virginia, and he ran for 4 yards, so it'll be 3rd and 11, and another 3 and out would be kind of just what the doctor ordered for these Titans, as their last 2 offensive drives have stalled. And really the key on that last drive was the penalty right at the end of the first quarter that wiped out what would have been 1st and goal inside the 5, instead stalled out that drive. So 3rd and 11, big play here. Pass is complete, but Deuce Edwards says you're not going any further. And Jay Williams comes in and finishes it off. I think some of the Tiger fans maybe thought it was a little late, but the whistle hadn't blown. I mean, it's a lot. I get it, because Deuce had him and forward momentum had been stopped, but if you're Jay Williams and there's no whistle, you got to fire to the ball. That's football.
Especially, I mean, I'm going to give credit to Jay here a little. You still had him in the front position. If Deuce lets go, or if Deuce kind of loses that tuck-on battle, he has a lot of room to run. And if Jay doesn't make the tackle there, and that did happen, that's just him getting yelled at on film all day long. It's 4th down and
4th and 10. So the kicker, the punter, Lucas Asada, we know what he can do. High, beautiful kick into this cloudless sky, and it is a fair catch by Brennan Ridley. And I wouldn't have wanted to have to catch that ball. It was about as high a punt as I can ever remember seeing on this field.
It went pretty far, too.
It still went about 40 yards. Good job by Brennan to catch it, because, last time he let it bounce and it rolled another 17 yards. But I was nervous that he might drop it, not because Brennan doesn't have amazing hands, which he does, but just because that was so high. If this was a dome stadium, I think it might have hit the ceiling. What a kicker Osada is. As you mentioned, going to be going to Carolina next year. And this time, Devion Brown lines up in the quarterback position. Direct snap to Devion Brown.
At the 20.
He takes it all the way. 60 yards. Touchdown, Devion Brown. And there is a flag. It is coming back for holding. Oh, man. That would have been Devion Brown's second 50-plus touchdown of the first half.
Holding on the Titans. Still 1st down.
And Titan fans below us did not like that call. I got to admit that I was so kind of shocked to see the snap go to Brown. I wasn't really paying attention to the line.
I was not paying attention to the line as well.
Definitely still some displeasure being displayed by the Titans. And these holding calls now have wiped out one almost sure touchdown on the last drive, and that was a sure touchdown. And now Devion has to come out exhausted from sprinting 60 yards, so we don't even get to see him on this play on 1st and 20. Trey Grant tries to hurdle a man, and he gained just about 2 or 3 yards. Good job by the Tiger defenders there, including Shorty Struther. So maybe that's why Trey tried to hop over him. My man's name is Shorty.
A lot of, Brady Sockowitz, one of the O-linemen for the Titans there, couldn't notice, but he just, I think he ran like 10 yards down the field and then tackled someone trying to open a hole for Trey Grant. So, I mean, the O-linemen, I think we've already said it a lot, but they're putting in a lot of work today.
They are definitely firing today. Unfortunately, though, have gotten called for a few penalties. Not too much of a hole on that one. Trey works his way for 4 yards, but it's going to be 3rd and 13. Devion Brown comes back in. Play clock down to 5. And they just got it off. Trey Grant fighting close to the first down. What an effort by Trey Grant. I think he's going to be just a little short, though. 4th and 1, but gosh, I thought he was going to be brought down about 6 yards earlier. But Trey was able to drag some defenders with him. Titans offense still on the field on 4th and 1. Looking like they're going to go for it. They do snap it. Hand off to Trey. He's going to get the first down across midfield. He needed 1. He picked up 4. Crucial pickup there by Trey Grant. And it's the play before that I think is so crucial because if he got tackled 6 yards short like he could have, you probably don't even go for it.
You can't go for it.
And so his effort put him in a position where you could feel confident going for it, and then he gets to pay it off. And it's first down and a fresh set of downs on a key possession for the Titans that we thought had ended several plays ago in the end zone. That pass is batted down. Julius Davis, the 6'5 junior for the Tigers, and that was a critical left hand there by Davis because I think Devion Brown had broken open on the post pattern, and it was looking like probably a really positive play, but Davis swatted that thing away.
Yeah. I think you said tall guy up there. I mean, he was hovering above some of those tall linemen that I was a bit surprised by.
You and I don't know much about what it is like to be above 6 or even 5.5 feet tall, Silvio. Ash is tall. All right, Devion Brown is pretty tall, and he is really strong and really fast and really good. And we see how good yet again, as if he's still frustrated about the touchdown that was taken off the board, he is not showing it.
Oh, yeah, not at all.
Another about a 22-yard gain there for Devion Brown, the man they call Fat Rat, and yet another first down. Trey Grant thinking about coming in. Devion Brown thinking about coming out, but ultimately they're going to keep Brown in. The play clock is already down to 5. I don't know if Trinity's going to get this play off. They do with 1 on the play clock, and it's Brown again. And he still picked up about 10. I mean, Devion Brown was, I think, asking for a play off.
Yeah.
And he started to come out, and they didn't think they had time to make the sub. So they left him in, and they gave him the ball, and he still got another first down. He is now going to get a much-deserved rest, and James Woodward comes into the backfield on senior day. 1st and 10 from the 16. Play clock again in single digits. Handoff goes to Woody. He makes a nice gain off the left side, picks up 5. It'll be 2nd and 5.
Run by number 25.
And one thing I have noticed, Silvio, a lot of plays where the play clock is run under 5 seconds, which is fine, but I'm just curious if it's by design, because usually we see the Titans snap it. Now that one was over 20 on the play clock, but I am, as Woody, that one didn't go for really any gain, but I'm just curious if they're intentionally maybe on this really warm 80-plus degree day
Very hot
trying to let the clock run a little bit more and just with the lead, bleed the clock. I don't know if that's intentional or just coincidence.
Yep.
This time, 3rd and 5. As the Titans attack toward the student section. Pretty good crowd of students, and Woodberry's going to call a timeout here on 3rd down. That's their second timeout of the first half, so they'll have one remaining. And it looks to me like, student section's not quite full, but pretty good crowd on a warm Saturday afternoon. But the hill behind the track with the outdoor amphitheater, which is in the shade, that looks packed.
That's very packed.
That is a spot I like to take my classes to occasionally. Second favorite spot behind the creek. And it seems like a really nice spot in the shade on this unseasonably warm late October day. And Silvio, this is a really crucial play that'll be coming out of the timeout. 3rd and 5. I mean, in theory, you are in field goal range. Evan Goldschmidt certainly has that leg, but typically we don't see Coach Mickens elect to take the field goal very often. And if you're a Tiger fan watching, I mean, you really got to be praying for a stop here to keep things at a one-possession game. Trey Grant runs. Good gain, close to a first down, and I believe he has it. Inside the 5, Trey Grant gets it down to the 4. First and goal, Titans, with 5 minutes to go in the first half. High snap, Logan handles, hands off to Trey Grant. Touchdown Titans! For the second time today, Trey Grant is into the end zone. No flags. 20-7 with the extra point pending. And that was a really just nice drive. After the very first play of the drive was a 60-yard run by Devion Brown that was negated by a penalty. Put them back on their own 30, but 70 yards. Slowly churning, 8 here, 10 there, down the field. I think there was a 20-piece in there too by Fat Rat, and the extra point is good. Evan Goldschmidt 3 for 3, and Titans lead it 21-7.
I think it's just, as you just said, that drive felt so long. It just felt like they had the ball the entire time, which they really did so far in this quarter. They've really, I wish we had a ball possession stat, how many minutes each team has had the ball, because the Titans, when they've had those interceptions, they were able to get those 3-0s, which have led their offense to really kind of just be burning out the Tigers defense pretty fast. So it's good to see that the Tigers defense gets to get off the field, but the Titans do score there.
Absolutely, Silvio. Could not agree with you more. And Evan Goldschmidt, the freshman kicker for the Titans, is about to kick off. He's a really good kicker. And
that's great.
He kicks that one inside the 10. It's going to be a good return for the Tigers, a very good return. A very, very good return. And it is a 91-yard touchdown return by Dizier Carter. And, wow, what a play by Carter. He used his blockers, broke a couple tackles, and momentum is right back with Woodberry after that. Yeah, well, I was just about to say Evan is a great kicker, and I mean, kicking it inside the 10 in high school is impressive. I was gonna say, as a freshman though, he's not yet where Osada is for the Tigers. I was just about to say, they're gonna be able to return this, which we have not had the opportunity to return. because of Osada putting them all through the end zone. And I didn't have time to say it. I would have looked smart if I'd gotten the sentence out that I was thinking, which is they're probably going to get good field position. And it was even better than that. But Osada isn't going to get a chance this time because the snap is mishandled. And so as great a kicker as Lucas Osada is, he didn't have a chance to put his leg through that one. And that could prove crucial as this game progresses, with two teams who are been, both able to score touchdowns pretty consistently throughout the season. It could be one of them deals where, let's say each team ends up with 5 touchdowns, by the end of the game. Extra points, 2-point conversions, point after tries could be the difference. And
we've seen it in games of the history of Titans where those points have been the difference. So I think, especially in high school football, those extra points can mean a lot.
For sure. Well, we won a state championship on a 2-point conversion 2 years ago. Essentially lost a game at Episcopal High School that same season. I believe it was a 20-19 final where each team scored 3 touchdowns, but EHS made 2 out of 3 extra points, and Titans only made 1 and end up losing by 1. So we've said from the outside of this game that we think these are 2 good, pretty evenly matched teams, and so you remember that bad snap there could cost the Tigers as the game progresses. And Osada, it doesn't matter if he's kicking toward the river, toward Estes. Every kickoff he's had has gone in the air out of the end zone.
Yeah, it's
unbelievable.
Impressive.
You don't see that in college very often.
And then talking about that kick return, Carter had speed. I saw him around the 30 to 40 where there were, where the majority of the players were, and he was just bolting down that sideline.
Yeah, and
he had a lot of speed to break through there.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt, Sylvia. I was just going to mention he's only a sophomore, as well as Hyder, only a sophomore. We saw early in the game Junior Saunders go out with an injury, but he's only a freshman. 6'5", 285. The starting quarterback today, Phillips Blair, only a freshman. So Woodberry has some serious young talent on this team as James Woodward carries the ball for a positive gain of 7 on first down. But, of course, the Titans have some great young talent as well. Trey Cherry, a freshman who had a fumble recovery earlier. Devion Brown, just a sophomore. He's been doing everything today. Close to 100 yards rushing, and he'd be well over 100 if it wasn't for the penalty. The man with the ball now, though, is not a youngster. He is a senior veteran, James Woodward, and he picks up a Titan first down.
Great to see him getting reps out there. Not the biggest running back out of the 3 that we've been seeing today. One of the shiftiest, though, in my opinion. It's great to see him getting reps. But again, we haven't seen many throws from the Titans. But again, they'll go with a run from James Woodward here.
Yeah, for the 3rd straight play, it's Woody. And of the 3 carries he's had, this one probably the least yards, just 2 on that one. Trey Grant back in after a little rest, and he looks fresh, bouncing off tackles. Silvio, he is a hard man to bring down.
Oh, for sure.
And on that run, Trey Grant knocked the helmet off of one Woodberry player, Sheldon Robinson, the guy we've already seen is a heck of a player. And he knocked Shorty Struther to the ground, and Shorty still down. Hope he's okay. But that's just powerful running by Trey Grant. He also, Trey was doubled over. He's limping away a little bit. I
It's
mean,
a hard run there. I mean,
that's a hard, and that one, of course, was pretty much right underneath where we are, as we're stationed just about midfield on the near sideline. So that's about as close as the game gets to us, is where the ball just was. And it really gives you an idea of just how violent this game can be. And, you know, sometimes you'll hear former football players talk about every play is like a car crash.
Yeah.
And that play was a good example of that. Just two guys, big, powerful young men running into each other at full speed. But it's great to see that Shorty Struther is up and walking off and probably just, you know, got the wind knocked out of him, as you would imagine happens when Trey Grant
runs into you
going downhill. And Trey did pick up a first down at the 49. Yeah, and some. Yeah, I think I have him for about 15 on that carry. Just over 3 minutes left in the first half. And if anyone's joined us late, it's been a heck of a first half. A lot of exciting plays from both teams. Woodberry with 2 really long touchdowns, one a 89-yard kick return, or I should say a 91-yard kick return, the other a 54-yard run. And the Titans have just been chewing up yards and clock. And talk about yards, James Woodward, what a powerful run. He picked up 18, and the amount of tackles that Titans running backs have broken in the first half has to be double digits already.
It's insane.
Between Trey Grant, James Woodward, Devion Brown, you just don't see the first man bring them down seemingly ever. And we got Woodberry actually used their last timeout of the first half, as I think they were having trouble getting a player off the field, and probably happy to get their guys a little bit of a rest as well. And so, go ahead.
As I said earlier, you know, the Titans' drives have felt so long as they're sticking to this run game, which requires constant. You don't have those giant bombs down the field where you're moving. You just have those slow turns where you're getting that first down over and over and over again. This defense has to feel like they've been on this field for probably the entire day. I think, as we said, it's a nice 87 degrees outside. It's really hot. And so playing defense over and over and over again, and then having to face guys like Trey Grant, Devion Brown, James Woodward, who just broke I don't know how many tackles there over and over again in this heat, has got to be really tolling on your body.
For sure. And one thing, because we play on turf, is that it's hotter than a grass field would be. And we learned back in August and September, you may recall, Silvio, there were several days when the teams that use this field, football and field hockey, weren't allowed to practice because the temperature on the field
gets real hot.
Is like the 20 degrees hotter, than even the air. So, and also, at least in the summer, you're acclimated to it. But, you know, this time of year, your body is started to adjust to the cooler fall temperatures. Doesn't seem to be bothering Trey Grant, though. Another big run by Grant. Gained 16 yards into the red zone and another first down. And with 2:20 on the clock and Woodberry out of timeouts, I would look for the Titans maybe to try and bleed the clock a little so that Woodberry, if they do get the ball back, doesn't have a whole lot of time. The Tigers will receive the second half kickoff. So I think the dream scenario for the Titans would be to score with very little time left. Although I'm sure when Trey Grant gets the ball, the only thing he's thinking of is getting into the end zone ASAP. I want us to suffer like the players, so I just unplugged the fan up here in our press box, so we're just as hot as them.
James Woodward now with the ball.
James Woodward, not much, picked up 1 or 2 yards, and that was Junior Saunders with the tackle, so it's good to see him back in. He was helped off the field in the first quarter with what appeared to be a shoulder injury, but Saunders is back in the game.
Real heavy tackle there.
Yeah, that
was he really slammed James Woodward to the ground there.
That is a very large ninth grader.
Ninth grader?
Yeah. And Woody is close to the first down. I think they're going to say he got it. Yeah. So first and goal for the Titans from the 6. Clock is at under 40 seconds. And now I think you do want to speed up. So we said we want to bleed clock, and now you quickly have to change your mind into going quickly, and he's not going to get in there. Trinity has 1 timeout left,
23
and
seconds.
they will use it with 22 seconds. So sometimes our scoreboard moves a little quicker than the actual scoreboard technology. Time, space, continuum, I don't know, but it's 22 seconds as our producer Ash Bell has fixed for us, and it'll be second and goal, but with no timeouts now, I would expect the Titans to throw, because if you get tackled in bounds, the clock's going to run, and it might run out on you. So
I'd agree with you, but I have to disagree now with how the Titans have been playing the game so far. Such a strong running, unless Tegan Logan really sees one of his wide receivers, Davion Brown, Brendan Ridley, Deuce Edwards open in the end zone. I expect they're just going to keep it on the ground with Trey Grant or James Woodward.
Yeah, it's risky, because if they don't get to the end zone, you may end up with no points on this possession. They do run. You were right, and it worked.
Yeah.
Trey Grant carries it from 6 yards out for the score, his 3rd touchdown of the first half. And Silvio, I believe you and I almost always agree. But the rare times we do, I think that's twice in a row that you've been right. The last time, I forget what it was, but last game you and I made opposite predictions and you were right. So you're learning, man. The student has become the master.
Learn from the best.
That's a massive touchdown as well, just from a scoreboard and momentum standpoint. Nice job by Brennan Ridley, although, sorry, the kick was missed, actually. Ridley did a good job to get it down because it wasn't a great snap, but I think it threw Evan Goldschmidt's timing off a little bit, and we talked after the last Woodberry unsuccessful PAT about how important those are, and now Titans failed to connect on that one.
Oh, yeah, it was a long to the right side there. Probably, again, maybe missed snap, not able to get those laces exactly the way that they probably wanted them to.
So with 17 seconds left in the half, but the last kickoff that the Tigers received, they took it 91 yards to the house. So I might look for Goldschmidt to do some sort of a swib kick or something where
to keep it on the ground.
Keep it on the ground, exactly. You don't necessarily mind giving up some field position with this little time, and Woodberry has no timeouts. But the last thing you want to do is let Carter get his hands on the ball, because we saw what he's able to do on that last one, and it does angle it out of bounds, which is I don't think that's what Coach Mickens wanted to see. I think he wanted him to kick it short, but the out of bounds, what that does is gives Woodberry the ball in great field position and no time running off the clock.
There were 2 flags, I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's a penalty to kick it out of bounds.
Yeah.
So it just by rule, they get it at the 35, which isn't terrible, but no time came off the clock. I'm curious, will the Tigers try to throw it with only 17 or no timeouts? They may just choose to either just hand it off or maybe even take a knee and not risk putting it up in the air and letting the safeties Ben Rosen and James Woodward get their hands on it. They are looking to pass, and it is incomplete. Well covered by Jay Williams.
Pass by number 48.
Takes the clock down to 12 seconds.
Jay Williams. Second down.
Brennan Ridley, who mostly plays offense and special teams, is going to come in at free safety. And the Tigers do take a knee. So that will take us to the half. And what a first half it was. Prep League Championship is on the line today. The Titans are 24 minutes away from bringing home that title. Halftime score, Trinity Episcopal 27, Woodberry Forest 13. And before we step aside for the halftime break, Silvio, give us your impressions of the first half.
I thought we saw some great football. The run game by those three that we've been talking about is probably some of the best that we've seen all season, especially from their previous game where they did struggle a bit with that. But I am a bit worried with the throw game. We haven't thrown the ball that much. I mean, not really at all. We've seen some of the passes to Davion Brown, maybe a bit high, went with slant plays, things like that. But other than we haven't been able to make those plays that we're used to seeing Teague and Logan see, where we did see the Tigers make one or two of those in the first half. So I think we're probably going to see hopefully a swap of that, keeping the strong running game, but maybe incorporating a bit of the throw, which will definitely elevate the Titans overall.
No, I think that's really good analysis, and it also, because the Titans have been so effective in the ground game, it is going to force the Woodberry coaches to have to make a decision too. I mean, you can bring some guys down, commit more players to trying to stop the run, but that could put them in one-on-one coverage on the outside with Davion Brown, Brennan Ridley, and Deuce Edwards. So you kind of got to pick your poison. Right, and the poison they picked in the first half was to make Trinity use the ground game. It'll be really interesting to see if Woodberry changes their plan. And then the Titan D's been pretty solid. I mean, basically they gave up one 50-plus yard run to Hyder, who we know is very capable of breaking it on any play, and then the kick return. So only that one big play. Otherwise, the Titan D's been pretty great. Only giving up a handful of first downs. Titans have dominated time of possession, but with Woodberry getting the opening kickoff, if they can get a score, then it's game on for sure. All right, we're gonna show the Titan takeover at halftime. Awesome. So Ash Bell, the best producer we have at TESPN currently, family tradition, is gonna set up for you all the Titan Takeover, our weekly clip show. You're gonna see some highlights, I believe, from volleyball and soccer and field hockey. I think are all in there. I watched Titan Takeover earlier this week, so if you haven't seen it, check it out. If you already saw it, then maybe check out our interview with Bowen Knight, James Woodward, and Cam Walker while you're on our YouTube page. Or watch a few minutes of college football, but you definitely want to come back for the second half of this high school football game. Titan Takeover starts now. Silvio and I will be back for the second half in a few. Please stick around.
You are watching
Trinity Episcopal Sports Production Network, TESPN.
Hey guys, welcome back to Titan Takeover Week 5 with Sophia Moore and
Joe Turkley.
Ryan Mully.
we're going to start off with field hockey with their big win against Collegiate. What do y'all think?
I mean, that's a huge historic rivalry. Historically, like one of the two best programs in the Richmond area. It was a great game. The score reflected that, 4-3. It was really huge for the field hockey team to get that momentum going into the last stretch of the season.
Yeah, they're on a 5-game win streak now. That battle with Collegiate, as you said, has been back and forth for a number of years. Past 3 years, we've played them about 10 matchups. It's about split 5-5 for each program, and I know that those girls were happy to get that win. they take care of business on Thursday, they'll move up to number 1 in LIS heading into that tournament. So I know that's a big goal of theirs.
Yeah, they also won against Paul VI to move their record to 12-3. So very impressive from field hockey.
Yeah, that was a really exciting game too. Double overtime, pulled through with a 2-1 victory.
Now let's take a look at some of the clips from the collegiate game. In this first clip, we're going to see the Titans with a corner.
Scoring off the corner. Barely blocked.
See them moving down the field near the goal for collegiate. And it's going to be a loose ball. And we're going to see how they play it through.
Unclear to us who scored that.
And it went in, which is going to bring the Titans to a tied score. So right here, the ball is going to start on the side, and we're going to see the Titans start the playoff and drive it towards the middle, where Ellie Johnson's going to make this a key moment in the game, giving the Titans a 3-2 lead.
Titans take the lead with 3 unanswered goals.
And right here, I think the best moment in the game by far is going to give Titans the W against Collegiate with Carson Beatty scoring the 4th goal. Really impressive play by all. All the girls played amazing in this game, but I think this is probably my favorite goal. Favorite play, even.
Incredible goal there by the Titans. I believe that was Carson Beatty.
Coming up for field hockey, they have a game October 26th at St. Catharines.
Talking about boys soccer on a nice little win streak right now. Our record is 7-6-1 after defeating 13 ranked Woodberry and 10 ranked Benedictine. Both of those games had big playoff implications, and it was great to get a nice result.
I think the Benedictine one was very impressive, especially being y'all senior day, as y'all two both play boys soccer. Joe, very impressive with the goals, keeping them out. And Ryan, obviously, pretty sure last score of the game, last kick of the game even?
Yeah, last kick of the game, was fortunate enough to get a goal in there.
How did that feel?
It felt great. I knew, the play, it was great. Griffin brought up the ball up the field and just being able to finish it off. Just a great way to cap it off.
And I think both of y'all being seniors, definitely a special night. Great way to end it off.
Yeah, well, like Joe said, we'll move now over 500 on the season. We play Veritas tonight. As we're recording this, today is Wednesday. So hopefully get the win there. That'll guarantee a winning season. And then we'll move on to Stab on Friday. It'll be our final match of the season. Be a prep league game. Again, more huge state implications.
Yeah, 2 wins here in this week would give us a 4-game win streak and have a lot of really nice forward momentum going into the postseason. Let's look at some clips from Benedictine Senior Night. In the first clip here, we have a goal from Seth Molesky, started off by Griffin Garnett using his length to strip the Benedictine midfielder of the ball. Seth Molesky, a tight angle, finds the bottom right corner to put us on the board and tie the game up 1 goal apiece.
Just about a minute into.
Next clip, we have great ball movement and great passing in the final third of the field. Nice switch of play there. Move from Griffin Garnett there, finds the open man, and a nice ball in, and Ben Gravely, right position, right time, finds the 3rd goal for the Titans. Final goal of the game. The last play of the game, Griffin Garnett taking the ball up the field. Nice move, splits the defenders and drives towards goal. Ball bouncing around, and Ryan Lloyd on senior night, right place, right time, finishes it off. Up next, last 2 games of the regular season, Wednesday, October 25th at Veritas, and Friday, October 27th at St. Anne Belfield.
All right, we'll move on to volleyball now. They picked up a nice win last Friday against Norfolk Collegiate. And just yesterday, actually, picked up a great senior day win against Central Virginia homeschool. Caitlin Watkins in that senior night game honestly carried the Titans to a victory. She had the final 3 points in the 5th set to win that game. And then on Friday, it was a great team effort by those Titans to really cap off their away matches, and they'll look forward to a great close of the season.
Yeah, I had the pleasure of commentating the Norfolk Collegiate game first set, and it was a really exciting game, great atmosphere. Titans' communication was on point, and it was a great team win for them.
Yeah, I think Caitlin Watkins throughout the whole entire season has been so dominant on the court. Very impressive, and very impressive season for volleyball.
Yeah, we'll take a look at one of those clips from that Norfolk Collegiate game, and it'll be Caitlin Watkins up first. All right, we'll take a look at some of the clips from that Norfolk Collegiate game. Caitlin Watkins coming up with a big kill there, right to the outside. She'll take advantage of that point. Take a look at another one, again from the 3rd set. Titans down by 5. Campbell Cash with a nice get there to keep it alive. Caitlin again will find the corner. Norfolk Collegiate does a good job of keeping it alive. We'll send it back. Jalen Thurman now tips it, finds the gap. Great point there by the Titans, able to find that little gap in the defense. 4th set now. Caitlin again with the kill, goes straight through the block. Again with the 4th set. This is the final play of the match. Titans up with a good sized lead. Serve comes in from Matt Corso. Dig there by her. Incredible job to keep that point alive. Kept alive there. And Aurora tips it over. Gets her first career point. Great job by her. Means a lot to the Titans as they'll celebrate that win. Good momentum builder for them. Coming up next for volleyball, they'll play St. Margaret's on Wednesday, the 25th. We'll go around the horn now. It's sports that didn't have broadcast. Football, great win against St. Christopher's, their first in-town game. Student section showed up and showed out. Great job from football to win that game 28-24.
Yeah, definitely a tight game. I think it's going to bring a lot of momentum back for the football team, and just really impressive with a 28-24 win.
Yeah, even with a lot of guys still injured, Titans pulled through. Rough first part of the game, but second half really turned up and got the W.
Yeah, they were down by 10 at halftime and were able to rally back. Just as Joe mentioned, they have been battling a great deal of injuries this season. They'll have guys coming back online. They had a few for that game. Those ones made a tremendous difference, such as Davion Brown. He came back, was a big part of that win. And Zaire Rayner, he'll be back for this Friday's game, or excuse me, the Saturday's game against Woodberry. That'll be football senior night, so I'm sure all of those guys are looking forward to that matchup.
And next we're going to have girls tennis. They've had 2 matches this week, and their LIS tournament begins Friday, October 27th. Definitely an impressive season by girls tennis. These past 2 games may have not shown that, but they're definitely one of the best this fall.
Yeah, girls tennis celebrating their senior night tonight as of recording. It's a really dynamic team, a lot of really good, young, experienced players, but also some older senior leadership on the roster, so good to see that.
Yeah, I know those 3 seniors, Gabby Strickler, Emily Krikis, and Catherine Pollard, all looking to prove a statement on their senior night. And we'll move into cross country. They have their senior night, which is tonight over at Collegiate. A lot of senior nights coming forward. Cross country looking to keep the winning atmosphere going.
Yeah, they've definitely been not very shown this fall, but they're definitely doing amazing. They have an amazing season, all amazing players, all doing really well. Amazing runners.
Yeah, they'll be excited to finish the season out strong over at the Robbins campus.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Ryan Lloyd.
I'm Sophia Moore.
I'm Joe Turkley.
And we will see you guys next week for the next edition of TESPN Titan Takeover. We'll send it to the play of the week.
Knocking us out of every point.
Wow. Caitlin Watkins comes out of the timeout and says, enough of that.
I mean, she got high.
She got
real high there.
Yeah, put that on Caitlin's highlight tape. She got
All right, welcome back, everybody, to the second half of this Woodberry Tigers versus Trinity Titans game here. We're going to see Evan Goldschmidt with a nice kickoff. Again, Dazier Carter with the return there, going again to the far side. Not able to get the break like he did last time for that 91-yard return touchdown that we saw in the first half, but still pretty good yardage.
Yeah, solid field position for the Tigers out at the 30. And second half is underway, and I think if the Titans could get a stop on this possession, that would really put them in a good position, but looks like it's Carter taking the snap, so a change at quarterback, and it's a good run by Dazier Carter. I believe his nickname is Hollywood. You can see why.
I believe we also have a Hollywood on our team. One of our seniors, Taylor Benson.
Indeed.
Playing wide receiver.
Okay, now they do put Blair back in. It's a halfback option, long throw, and great coverage by James Woodward. But let me tell you, Carter has quite an arm. Oh, not great coverage, I guess, as a flag comes in. And Sylvia, don't let me talk about the refs. Don't let me do it. Ash, you might need to mute me. I mean, he didn't touch him.
Not sure.
Right there, knocked the ball out.
Not sure what the flag might have been on.
I mean, it's pass interference.
I mean, yeah, I mean, when I say that, I mean, not sure what he saw that the flag could have been on there, but they get away with it. Really interesting play by the Tigers as well. They go with the halfback.
Beautifully designed play.
Option.
Get Carter way behind the line of scrimmage. Lateral it back to him, and he has a heck of an arm. I mean, he threw that about 40 yards, and it was really accurate. But from up here, I thought James Woodward defended it perfectly. I think I even said that, but the officials saw it differently, and that was not a perfect throw that time by Phillips Blair down at the feet of his intended receiver. So it'll be 2nd and 10. And I hope that our viewers were able to stick around and check out the Titan takeover at halftime. But just been a really positive couple weeks in Trinity Athletics. And after this play, I want to update some of the recent results. This is a handoff to Hyder, and he gained 2 yards. But it was Jordan Stith able to bring him down for a minimal gain. Yeah, so soccer is on a, I think, 4-game winning streak and moving up the state rankings. It's definitely going to make states. They'll find out their seed, I believe, tomorrow. And field hockey on a big-time winning streak. Regular season champions yet again in the LIS. Volleyball, 3-game winning streak. And second down, they go with a reverse, and there's some room. Another very well-designed play, and it was Jaden Ferguson. And Ferguson carried it for a first down. And then I think we're going to have a second sideline violation against the Titans, which is a 5-yard penalty. I learned that rule last week at St. Christopher's when they got hit for it. And now the Titans get hit for it. So really positive start for Woodberry. It's 1st and 10 from the Trinity 25. And it is Phillips Blair back at quarterback. Hyder, great tackle by James Woodward. Hyder gained four yards, but Woody with a form tackle.
And the size difference there was,
Yeah.
was quite a lot.
Yeah,
James Woodward's still
Zevion
able
Hyder
to-
at 6'1", and James Woodward's
5'10",
about
5'11", probably. If you give him
maybe. I was going to say 5'8", but you know, what do I know? Taller than me, which is pretty much everybody. What a hit there by
Number 48. Oh, play.
it's Cam Walker, I think. No, Mason Love. Mason Love, actually. 11 and 17 look pretty similar from here, but I believe that was Mason Love with the big hit.
big third down here for the Tigers. I believe this is the first time I can remember where they've been in a very important third down.
That's a good point, Silvio, because I mean they really hadn't had this type of field position, and we do see, unfortunately, offensive lineman for the Tigers go down. That was kind of a delayed, fall to the ground there. It looked like they were about to snap it, and maybe he was trying to tough something out, and then just got overwhelmed by the pain and wherever he is hurting. But they really haven't been in Trinity territory, because the one touchdown that Woodberry had offensively came on a 54-yard run. The other touchdown was kick return. And besides that, it's been mostly 3 and outs for the Tigers, a couple first downs. So this is really the first time they've driven deep into Trinity territory. The Heat getting to some of the players, including the young man who just came off the field. And, I was able to talk to one of the Titan assistant coaches at halftime, and I think the Heat is getting to both teams. A lot of fatigue.
Yeah.
It's a really warm day, as we talked about several times already, and I think cramping is going to become an issue. And this could be a little bit of a war of attrition. All right, so on the key third down, it's a completion. I think it's not enough for the first down, but the catch by Will Leahy, correction, it is enough for a first down. They had 3rd and 7, and they got 7, so he got right where he needed to. The junior wide receiver, Will Leahy, with his first catch of the game, and it's a crucial one to keep this Tigers drive alive. Handoff to Hyder. And he's not able to get much there. Gained 2 yards.
Run by number 5, Zevion Hyder.
I think it was Keon Montgomery with the tackle. Blair looks to pass. It's a great pass. Caught just outside the goal line, and he fights his way in for the score. I think that was Sevion Carter, or excuse me, Dizier Carter. Sevion is Hyder. Carter with his second touchdown of the day. He had the kick return earlier. And we said right when the first half ended, Silvio, that the first drive of the second half would be Woodberry ball. Yeah. And if they could score, it would be a dogfight. And they did, and it is. And we have a delay of game on Woodberry.
Very interesting, yeah.
My only guess is maybe they were debating going for 2 and kind of got caught, not sure. And obviously 5 yards doesn't affect Lucas Osada with his leg. It's not a problem, but they ultimately do choose to go for just the extra point rather than a 2-point conversion.
And he was doing warm-ups right before halftime at the 56. It's crazy what his leg can do.
Good snap, and kick is good. It is almost to Mr. Short's house. Yeah, I think the only issue on the kicks is, I mean, if the snap is good, it's automatic.
Yeah.
But we did see on their second touchdown, the snap was not good, and they weren't even able to get the kick off. All right, so even though, it feels like the Titans have been fairly, I was going to say dominant. Maybe that's too strong a word, but with, jumping out to the 14-0 lead, Trinity is not felt to be in too much jeopardy for most of this game, and yet now the lead down to 7 with 8:19 to go in the first half. And Woodberry, got to give them a lot of credit. They had a lot of creativity on that opening drive. We saw a direct snap to Carter where he was in the quarterback position on one play. We saw the halfback option with the long throw that drew the flag. We saw a reverse. I mean, they really had a lot of diversity in their play calling, and it ultimately results in a touchdown. Also, credit to Phillips Blair, who had a couple great passes, including the third down conversion to Leahy and then the touchdown to Carter. Will it go through the end zone? I'm pretty sure it will. And I think it even went through the uprights. And that, of course, that doesn't count for points, but the Woodberry fans seem to love it.
And then again, I think we talked earlier about, what that brings for high school football. Titans with Trey Grant, Davion Brown, Brennan Ridley, James Woodward, some of those great punt returners that we've seen gain a lot of yardage. And then, they go back to their own 20 because of those such strong kicks, which is definitely a change-up and one of the very big strengths that Woodbury has, pushing these teams back to the 20, making them work for all those 80 yards for a touchdown.
Absolutely, Silvio. I mean, if you're watching this game right now, then you are a football fan, and football fans know that field position is huge. This time, you don't see Tegan Logan take the snap, but it's actually Devion Brown who takes the snap, and he ran for 6 yards. That's the second time they've done that. I guess, the last time they directly snapped it to Devion is the one he took at 60, but it got wiped off for the holding penalty. Good job by the Tigers defense there. That was number 22, Chapman Cella.
Cella,
yeah. Thanks, Silvio. My Italian friend knows how to say Cella. That was a big play. I mean, Trey Grant in the first half, every time he ran was positive yards. That was a 5-yard loss as Cella brought him down.
But then again, that's what we talked about before going to the half. What Tigers' response would be to the strong run game.
Yeah, and on 3rd and long, Titans run it for a gain of 5, but for the first time today, we're going to see the Titans have to punt. 4th and 4, and we'll get our first glimpse of Huey Stone, number 22, the sophomore punter. Good snap. Low kick by Huey, but it's going to be fielded on a bounce. There's a flag that came out. Not much of a return for Robinson there. Really no gain. And Woodberry fans thought that maybe a late hit. I don't see a flag for that, though.
I was counting by myself, and I counted 12. I may have been wrong
on the field for
Woodberry. I
Woodberry.
counted 12 white jerseys. I did see a couple players run off and then one run back on, so maybe a bit miscommunication. I counted 12. People in the stands were saying they have 12, so I'm not sure if my count was correct.
That makes sense because the flag came out pretty much immediately.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't have thought it was like a hold because nothing had really happened.
Really
so 12 on the field is a logical conclusion that you make, Silvio. And
I'm not exactly sure what happened over there on the far side.
yeah, and I think there is actually a flag out for that one now. And I think the whistle had blown, forward progress had stopped, and I think Trinity went ahead and still tackled Robinson after the whistle. Long discussion by the officials. And I'm wondering if they might have to replay it. So, yeah, the illegal substitution, 12 men on the field, Woodberry. Dead ball, unsportsmanlike, Trinity. And
12 men on the field on the Tigers.
so I think what's going to happen
Necessary roughness on the
is I think the 12, it was 4th and 4.
Yeah.
I think the 12 men on the field penalty is going to give the Titans a first down
first down.
because the unsportsmanlike is a post-play penalty. So Trinity gets the 5 yards for the first down, and then that's now Titan ball. But then the unsportsmanlike will be
Pushing them back.
penalized, so it should be first down from somewhere around their own 16-yard line, I think. Which I think if you're a Titan fan, you would take having possession,
Yeah.
even in inferior field position, versus Woodberry would have had the ball at about the 40-yard line. So
Very interesting turn of events there.
very interesting,
Yeah.
and I understand why the officials took their time sorting through that, because it is a really big play in the game. I mean, for the first time today, the Titans were forced to punt their first 3 and out. They didn't score every first half possession with the 2 interceptions, but you know, Woodberry, just as they had seized momentum with an opening drive, touchdown here in the second half, and then you tacked on the 3 and out, Tigers had to be feeling as good as they felt all day.
Yep.
So giving the ball back on something like a 12 on the field is got to be frustrating
Yeah.
for their coach, Jackson Mateo and the rest of his staff. Now, again, having said all that, it's not great field position. It is better than I thought it was going to be, though. It's at the 26.
Definitely because I had a really good angle. I was watching the players lead the field, one, and then they were 2 left, and then one was told to immediately go back on. So I think it was probably just miscommunication there with what people were supposed to go out or not.
All right, let's see if this drive can go better than it was. Already a much more positive first down play as Trey Grant carries for 8 yards. I think the last time he touched the ball, he went for a loss of yards.
Yeah.
Well, no, I guess that was the second down play. On third down, he gained a few, but not enough. So it'll be second and short. Trey Grant again, and it will be a first down. Second and 2, he picked up 3.
And I mean, we saw that the Tigers had an answer to the run game with that 3 and out. But I mean, I'm not sure exactly what they've changed, what they're doing. Trey Grant has beat their system though. So far, he was able to just make, 2 plays there for amazing gains of yardage. And if he's able to do it again, it could just be like the first half where the Titans are on this field for a very long time. And as we mentioned earlier, this heat fatigue is getting to players. And if your defense is out there forever, they're going to make mistakes and mess up where you'll have an opportunity to slip by.
Now that's a great point, Silvio. Oh, confusion there as Tegan went to hand it off to Trey Grant, and Trey was on the opposite side that Tegan expected, and so it's a loss of 3. And I believe the tackler was Nicholas Logan, and we've seen him in the backfield a couple of times. But I will say, we saw Devion Brown frequently double and even triple covered in the first half. He's got one-on-one coverage now as the Tigers, as you alluded to, have committed more guys to stopping the run. And we are going to see Tegan throw it to Brown. But it was well covered, and it's going to be 3rd and 13. Third and long.
Like there's Julius Davis again with another deflection. I think he probably got his hand on that one.
Titans have 4 wideouts as DeFrancesca is also split out with the normal 3 receivers, but they're going to run it on 3rd and long, and Tigers rally to the football. Ball comes out. I thought he had been down, but I think they're going to call a fumble, and I've yet to see a signal. Woodberry is convinced it's their ball, and it is.
Yeah.
Possession goes back to the Tigers at the 40-yard line as Trey Grant fumbled that one, fighting for extra yards. I thought the ground caused it to come out, but obviously it's no replay review in high school football, so Woodberry is going to be blessed with great field position in Titan territory at the 39-yard line with just about 4 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. They're looking for a long ball, and good coverage by Deuce Edwards as Philip Blair tried to find his favorite target, Carter, but Deuce Edwards was right there with him, stride for stride, and it's also just a little bit overthrown. But I like the play call by Woodberry. Got a lot of momentum.
Yep.
Try and take advantage and take a shot for the end zone. Good pressure this time, and I think they might call roughing the passer, which is going to be the call. And
Intentional grounding on the Tigers.
that has got Titan Nation and the coaching staff absolutely mystified. I mean, Cameron Walker had Blair in the grass. Blair just threw it to the ground. I easily thought it could have been intentional grounding, and roughing the passer instead is the call. And now so it's going to be he also called grounding and roughing the passer. Penalties offset, and they're just going to replay the play.
Personal foul. Offset. Replay.
I don't know. I mean, I guess if you're a Titan fan, you'll take the offsetting when it looked like it was going to be just the roughing. And, I mean, the fans beneath us were livid, to say the least.
Cameron Walker does take HL physics, but I don't think he can deny the laws of physics.
Right.
Gravity will make his body come down.
Still would have been, I mean, if it was just the grounding, it would have been 3rd and forever. Instead, at 2nd and 10, they get after the quarterback again, which this time is Carter, but Carter, with his wheels, was able to pick up 9 yards, and it's going to be 3rd and 1.
Great run there by Carter. Again, we've seen that second time. He takes off, hurdled, I think, over one defender. Great speed on Carter there.
And again, it's Carter lined up in the quarterback position in the shotgun on 3rd and short. He runs off tackle. He's got the first down. He's still on his feet. Fumble. No, sorry. I thought I saw the ball pop out, but I was mistaken. He did get the first down, though, across the 30.
29, first down, Tigers.
Carter's a tough man to bring down.
Oh, yeah. They have him at 5'10", 180. Pretty big guy.
It's still Carter lined up at quarterback. And he's going to run it again. This time, nothing doing. Jay Williams says, not coming to this side. 2-yard loss. Be 2nd and 11.
One of the plays that you really need for by your senior, Jay Williams there. He's performing really well tonight. Some hard-hitting tackles. But, you know, first time that we've seen the Tigers really lose yardage off a play like that.
Yeah, Jay Williams committed to North Carolina A&T, and we've been talking, I think, for 3 years, Silvio, that he might be the most underrated player on this team. This time Carter's going to throw, and it is incomplete as he was looking for Hudson Zell on that one. This will be 3rd and 11. And I am curious, you know, we've seen the last several plays where Desir Carter, who's a wide receiver, has been playing quarterback, and it's just now occurring to me, I wonder if on that play that they called the roughing the passer, if maybe Phillips Blair got hurt.
Yep.
Carter
Again.
rolls right. He's got a good arm. It's up for grabs. It is incomplete, and a flag comes in late. And that is probably the most animated I've seen the crowd get all day, as Titan fans cannot believe the pass interference call there.
But I think I was just going to say, another, again, really important 3rd down that we haven't really seen the Tigers be in very often. They were, not so long ago, they were able to score with I believe another flag that led them to getting past that 3rd down, and they have it again.
First down, Tigers.
All right, so instead of 4th and long, it's 1st and 10 from the 15. Tigers back in the red zone. Still Carter at quarterback. He looks to run. He finds a hole. And it's a good gain by Carter. 8-yard gain. Finally tackled at the 7.
Second down.
And yeah, couple crucial penalties on this drive, Silvio. The roughing the passer and the pass interference.
3rd down, clock just 1 minute left.
Yeah, this 3rd quarter seems to feel like it's flown by, really, as both teams have pretty much kept it on the ground. That keeps the clock moving. Nowhere for Carter to go this time, and he's thrown for a loss as Ryan Mitchell and Jordan Stith were in the mix. So it's 3rd and 4 from the 9. Obviously, you know, if they don't get it, field goal is an option with Osada. Or perhaps this far down the field, it may be 4-down territory. They've got 4 wide receivers. Carter struggled to handle the snap. It's fumbled. Hyder scooped it back up. He's still on his feet. Definitely well short of the first down, and it ends up being a loss of 5. So 4th and about 9. I think they were. So that's the end of the quarter, end of the 3rd quarter. So it gives Coach Mateo and the Tigers a little time to ponder this decision. You can kick the field goal with your amazing kicker. You're just about guaranteed to cut it to 4, but you're still behind. You could go for it, and if you get it, you're looking at probably a tie game after the extra point. And as a head coach, I can see advantages to both, but I think they're going to kick.
I think it makes the most sense for them to kick. I think
the way their defense has played this half,
getting them off the field
is
important. I mean,
well, and you and I, we've talked so many times on both football and volleyball broadcasts about momentum. If you hit this field goal from a Woodberry standpoint, you continue to have the momentum.
Yep.
If you go for it on 4th down and get snuffed, that really gives Trinity the momentum right back.
Yep.
So
again, 4th and 9, they may go. I mean, they have seen 2 pass interference calls on some of their receivers. They may go for some kind of thing where it forces the Titans to play that rougher coverage and maybe get called again on some kind of foul to bring it closer, to go for it, maybe hold on the snap, try to draw off offsides.
So they are indeed going to kick. I think we both agree up here that's the right call. And again, for most high school kickers, it's a 31-yard field goal is
daunting.
Sketchy. Yeah, daunting is a better word, Silvio. For Osada, this should be no problem. Yeah, I mean, easily that would have been good from 50 probably. So that cuts the Tigers' deficit to 4. Titans still maintaining the lead and about to get the ball back almost for sure at their own 20, because Osada's now going to put it through the end zone like he likes to do. But for sure the momentum is with Woodberry now, and I think that the Titans need a spark.
Yeah.
Doubt it'll be a kick return, again, because he's going to kick it for a touchback, but need a positive first down play, put a couple first downs together, and regain the momentum that is very much on the side of Woodberry in this second half. If I were a Trinity student right now, I would hang out right behind the end zone and try and catch this when it comes through. Through the end zone. I believe that's 5 kickoffs and 5 that have.
That's nice.
They don't bounce through the end zone. They
fly,
fly through the end zone. So you mentioned he's going to play at Chapel Hill next year, and couple Richmond players on that Carolina roster, Andre Green from St. Christopher's and Joel Starlings from Benedictine. And
great names that we've been saying for the past
for years.
Just here.
Both also basketball players who I coached against. So I've not coached against Lucas Osada, though.
I don't know how a kicker would fare in basketball.
We had a good kicker, Will Michael, who kicked at William & Mary, who was a good basketball player. And now Will actually coaches Evan Goldschmidt, the Trinity kicker. Devion Brown, we said the Titans need a good first down play, and it is a pretty good one, about 6 yards. Devion was able to
very long play.
Fight and hard to bring down. I thought for a second he might break it.
Looked like he was about to.
Brown again. It's a first down. He picked up 7, and I think that is Just what the doctor ordered. Sorry,
Yep.
I lost my train of thought for a second. I said they need to come out and get a first down, and they did just that. Devion Brown this time picks up 2.
Run by number 4, Davion Brown.
2nd and 8. Trey Grant comes back in. So John Woolman in on that play. Now Bryden Kelly comes in. Trey Grant carried it for 3. And it's going to be 3rd and 5.
3rd down.
It's a lot of tired-looking young men out
Yeah.
there on this. It's 85 degrees, probably feels on the field like 100.
I think one thing we haven't mentioned today is some of the players that are still out on the Titan roster. We have the big names of Zaire Rayner and Isaiah Robinson. One heavy, big senior going to play Minnesota next year. Z have a couple of classes this year. Great guy. Get to know him real well.
Trey fought for 3, but he needed 5, so it's going to be 4th.
Number 0, Trey Grant.
And he didn't get the greatest spot there either, actually. So it's going to be 4th and 3, and punt unit is coming on. And while they're getting the punt unit on, Zaire Rayner is such a big miss on the defensive side. He's the leader of the defense. He's an incredible tackler. He's a ball hawk. I mean, there's a reason a ball hawk, not ball hog. There's a reason that he's a 4-star, player going to play in the Big Ten. And fair catch made there by Robinson on the Houston punt. And Isaiah Robinson, junior wide receiver with all sorts of big-time offers. He's been out really, I think, since the first game of the season, and those are big misses.
Also kind of relates to their throwing game. I mean, when they did have Isaiah Robinson, and you'd have Isaiah Robinson, Davion Brown, Brandon Ridley, some of the deadliest wide receivers that they'd have. It's a stacked lineup, and without Isaiah Robinson, it kind of shuts short where you have to focus on your run game a bit more. So definitely things that the Titans have worked over throughout the season, but great to see what he does. Me and Isaiah have gotten to know each other pretty well over these last couple of years as well, and great to see what he does and where he commits to. That'll be exciting to see next year.
All right, first down, it's still Carter at quarterback. Good throw, and he's got an open man for a big gain. Could be a really big gain. Touchdown, Tigers. 74 yards. And Woodberry is an extra point away from tying this thing up.
No, they've
Forgot about that field goal. Tigers just took the lead. My bad. Yeah, how
1 point away.
they just
from
had
the,
it. Yeah,
field goal.
Right.
Away.
So Tigers are an extra point away from extending their new lead, their first lead of the game, to 3.
8:40 to go as well.
And Osada again with the extra point, and for the first time today, Woodberry Forest is in front by a score of 30-27. And keep talking about momentum, and it is squarely on the side of Woodberry. Having said that, I mean, Trinity was in almost this exact same position a week ago, down 3, about this amount of time left in the fourth quarter, and they were able to drive down the field and get the game-winning touchdown at St. Christopher's. And
I believe both teams all have 3 times out still left.
no one's called a timeout yet this half, so we are going to be in for a great finish. And we said that at the beginning, that even with the 14-0 lead, we felt like this was going to be a tight game for 4 quarters.
Yeah. Again, Osada with an
The
amazing kick.
I'm not positive if this is visible on your screen, but the play clock is about 10 yards behind the end zone,
yeah.
and he almost hit it on the fly. I've seen a lot of high school football. I don't know if I've ever seen someone at this level with the leg of Lucas Osada.
I wonder how
And
good of a soccer player he'd be. That leg.
it would be an asset for
Yeah.
sure. All right, so Trinity for the first time today takes possession, trailing by 3, 8:41 to go. Logan looks to throw it, and his pass to Deuce Edwards incomplete. 2nd and 10.
Pass wide, number 12, Taken Logan, incomplete.
And after a 27-point first half, Titans have not been able to get much going in the second half. And we talked at halftime about Woodberry adjust and really commit to stopping the run. They have.
Done it
And
very well as well.
yeah, I think Logan's going to have to throw the Titans to victory at this
Yeah.
point.
Which we haven't really seen many thrown plays at all this game.
Another play action. He looks for Devion Brown. And pass incomplete. Logan took a hit there, but no flag. Coach Rayner was hoping for maybe that same roughing the passer call that had gone against the Titans a couple possessions ago.
Now they're at this 3rd and 10. And I mean, I think as you said, momentum. Woodbury's holding all the momentum right now. Titans need this 3rd and 10 play to make something happen.
Wide receiver screen to Deuce Edwards. Tigers do a good job rallying to the ball, and Edwards picked up 8, but he needed 10. 4th and short. No sign of the punting unit yet, and with the spot, it's more like 4th and 3. I thought he had gotten a little bit farther than he actually did there, so
Trey Grant seems
they're going for it. 4th and 3 from your own 27. This is the biggest play of the game so far. Logan is pressured. It is caught! Deuce Edwards catches it. He reverses field. And he goes across midfield for a huge gain. 24 yards to Deuce Edwards. And Tegan Logan steps up.
when you get it to.
Not been the best game of his career, statistically, and I think he's fighting through some pain, but when the huge throw needed to be made, Tegan Logan found Deuce Edwards, and Titans go no huddle. Trey Grant pushes forward for 4 yards, and Silvio, we talked about regaining momentum, and that might have been the play that did it. Now,
I
look,
think so, yeah.
you're still behind, still a lot to do,
Oh, for sure, yeah.
but
Still 7 minutes left.
I don't know if you ever look at like win probability things on ESPN, while a game's going on, but I have to think that if Trinity did not get the first down there, their win probability would have been pretty low.
Yeah.
Now, Devion Brown goes to the quarterback position. Tegan goes out wide. Brown's going to keep it. Fights for additional yards. First down and more. Devion Brown all the way to the 31. It's a little slow to get up. And he's not up. And you don't want to see that, but Devion Brown's still down. Now, he's up. Now he's down. Could be cramps, I think, which all things considered is
Which makes sense. Probably the best case scenario.
probably the
as
best.
well.
Exactly. I mean, cramps are not good. You would rather not
Yeah.
have your legs cramping up, but that will be something he'll have to deal with for the rest of the game and probably the rest of the day, but not an injury, so that's good. And we predicted, we said cramping's going to happen on a warm day like this, and the way he's been running.
Also, I'm pretty sure number 85, Julius Davis's helmet came off on that last play, so he will have to sit out So this next play, it's going to be pretty important. Julius Davis has been doing really good with the pass blocking game. He's already had 2 block passes, but with Davion Brown also most likely having to sit the next play out, it's going to be interesting if they throw the ball to Bryn Ridley or Deuce Edwards, or even Bryden Kelly again with Davis out.
Well, Devion is up. He'll be off at least for this play. Will Rosen has had to come off the field, one of the senior offensive linemen for the Titans.
Definitely facing the heat today. One of the guys you're definitely going to miss on the O-line there.
Play action. He's got DeFrancesca. He could go. He's out at the 1.
But what a play by the tight end.
Yeah, great play call by Coach Bell.
First time.
But Sam DeFrancesco with a huge catch, but not quite able to score. Will be first and goal, though, from the 1-yard line. Trey Grant, touchdown! Titans, Trey Grant scores for the 4th time today on Senior Day. And Trinity regains the lead, 33-30.
What a game Trey Grant is having himself today. I mean, 4 touchdowns. He's ran the ball for I don't know how many times across this field. Don't think I could even run the field for that long. I think he's had some hard hits as well. Hopefully, we're going to see Davion Brown and Will Rosen be able to re-enter this game, as they are vital figures for the offense.
Yeah, there's a big extra point with Osada's leg. You want to make sure you're up by 4, and he missed it. Just a little bit wide right, and
is he 3 for 2 today?
Made 3, missed 2. I mean, it wasn't a great snap, so that threw the timing off, but unfortunately for the Titans, Osada has such a strong leg that if they get
down to
really,
the 40,
inside the 40, even if things stall out, he can make a field goal. So that was a big extra point. So still, if you're a Trinity fan watching, got to be happy that they were able to respond and retake the lead, especially facing 4th and 3 from their own 27. You feel a lot better than you did about 5 minutes ago, but would feel a little bit better still if the extra point was converted there. And it's going to be back on the defense's shoulders.
Then again, we talk about momentum. And I think, as you said earlier, that 4th and 3rd being so important for momentum. Titans able to score. They do miss the extra point, which is very upsetting. You never want to do that.
Short kick, fair catch is made by the Tigers. Number 84, Reese Anderson. And so they'll have good field position at the 35. But I think Titans didn't want to give a chance for another long kickoff return like we saw in the first half. And Silvio, I think one of the most overused words in sports media is when commentators describe a game as a war. This is not war. There are real wars going on in this world. But this is a real gut check. I mean, there are guys cramping. We've seen some guys getting sick to their stomach. I mean, this is where you have to dig deep on. I think I saw this literally might be a record temperature in Richmond for October 28th. And James Woodward and Trey Cherry, a senior and a freshman, combined to make a tackle there on Carter after a 3-yard gain. Clock will run under 6 minutes. Yeah, we haven't seen Phillips Blair come back since the roughing the passer call early in the 3rd quarter. And Blair, the freshman quarterback who's been impressive at times today, appears like he's unavailable, I guess. And we don't have a sideline reporter to kick it to, but it's Carter at quarterback, and
doing a
he's
great
obviously
job.
fantastic with his legs, and he shows off that ability again with a first down run as he picked up 9 yards there out across the 45 to the 47. And before long, they're going to be in field goal range.
So you have when you have a dual threat kind of athletic position that a lot of high school players will play. He's been playing wide receiver, quarterback, and in this quarterback position, he's been throwing some great balls, but also those legs. We've already seen them with that 91-yard touchdown kick return he had earlier in the game, and some of the longer yards with the speed he's been able to do.
Looks like he's going to throw it this time. Well, maybe not. He keeps it after all. Gets just across midfield. Gained 4 yards. And he kind of fooled me because I actually think it was a design quarterback run, but he dropped way back and really sold the pass.
Yeah.
But I actually think it was probably the plan was for him to run all along. And he does really well into Titan territory. Clock down to under 4.5. Both teams with their full complement of 3 timeouts.
I think as we talked about, Osada's leg, if they get a couple more first downs, they could be in Osada's range.
It's Hyder. He's got the first down. Goes out of bounds at the 40.
And from what I saw, Osada was kicking at the 47 during warm-ups. So it would be a 57-yard punt, and he almost made it during halftime. He almost made that one right down the center, just short. So like, if they get a couple more yards, they could easily be in
pretty much in his range now, yeah. I mean, of course, that would only tie it.
Yeah.
Clock stopped there as he went out of bounds. They do hand it off to Hyder. He breaks a tackle and picks up 3 yards to the 37. 2nd and 7. Even though, Desir Carter, I mean, he has a strong arm. We saw it when he did the halfback option pass that resulted in the pass interference. And he's had a couple good throws, but clearly he's normally a wide receiver, a kick returner, an athlete. And so I kind of feel like if he throws from a Titan defense standpoint, that's almost what you're hoping for. We're about to find out because he looks to throw again. He breaks Bowen Knight's tackle, and he doesn't throw. He runs close to a first down. I believe he stepped out just short of a first down, though. It's going to be 3rd and 1. And I'm still not sure they actually want him to throw. I think they're sending these guys out on routes. The Titans have to cover the routes, but he has not put it up in the air in quite a while. But by spreading him out and running 4 receivers up and down the field, it really leaves Carter isolated against the D lineman, and he's a lot faster than any D lineman would be.
Change in the O lineman for the Tigers, Rylan Neal.
3rd and 1.
Breaks,
he keeps it again. He's not going to get it. Great job by the D line, and this leaves a big decision for Woodberry. 4th and 4, a very long field goal, and no kicker we've ever played would you even think would attempt from here. But with Osada, they could go for what would be a 50-yard field goal for a tie, but they're not. Offense still on the field.
Big 4th and 4. We saw
huge play right here. 4th and 4. Titans crowd getting loud. Play clock down to 5. Looks like they may just run the play clock down and call a timeout, and that is exactly what they do. With 2:39 left. And
again comes to the question, are they going to bring out Osada?
Are they going to bring out Osada? He's hanging out by himself. I'm sure he'd love the chance to show off his leg with a 50-yard field goal. He's practicing his kicks, but it's the offense that's surrounding Coach Mateo right now, and I think they're going to go for it. And it's not – if the Titans get a stop here, it's not game over. You'd still need a first down, but it's gives you a huge chance to win if you can get that stop. But if Woodberry is able to convert the first down, everything's in play. A chance for overtime if they ultimately get a field goal, a chance to take the lead. And
2:30 left. Trinity has still 3 timeouts left, but again, this could be in a situation where Woodbury could really milk the clock and bring it down so the Titans don't have any chance of even scoring again.
And it seems like that's what they're trying to do, just like the Titans did at the end of the first half. I mean, the dream scenario for Woodbury is you score a touchdown with almost no time left, and they are going for it. Osada still over on the sidelines. 4th and 4. Titans had a similar 4th down on the previous possession. They got it. Handoff to Hyder. No, he keeps it. Tackle in space. And the Titans make the stop. The Titans make the stop. I don't know who got to him first. My guess would be Jay Williams, because it usually is, but Deuce Edwards is in on the play. James Woodward. Carter is still down, and we certainly hope that he's okay.
I mean, getting faced with the guys like Jay Williams, I get scared sometimes walking next to Jay in the hallway. Number 2, Jay's such a nice guy, but he is one big guy, and he hits hard. So, I mean, what a stop on that 4th, and the momentum on the Titans now. 2:30 left on the clock to really prove what will happen, and Carter getting up. Great for him to see him jogging off the field. Hopefully
Yeah, I
nothing
mean,
too serious.
That stop could
be the game.
I mean, a couple first downs here. Tigers now with 2 timeouts, and that could be the stop that wins Trinity a Prep League championship and adds to the banners in Estes. But Tigers still, if they can get a 3 and out here or a turnover, are still very much in it. And, of course, again, with Osada, they just need to get really right about this spot back on the field, and they're in field goal range. Fat Rat close to a first down for a minute. Looked like the ball was about to come out, and he did fumble last week, but he holds on. He's going to get the first down. He picked up 11, and that is huge first down. Still can't, and he's going to limp off with cramps. I mean, Devion Brown, what a game he has had. He's not even going to limp off. He's going to limp out to wide receiver. Still on the field, though. No, now he comes off. I think the Titans have 10 in the game, but this might be – well, the play clock is down to 5. This might be where Coach Mickens just wants to call a timeout. No, they snap it, and they do hand it off to Trey. Just hold on tight, Trey. Gets to midfield. It'll be 2nd and 6. Tigers call their second timeout. So 1:38 to go. It'll be 2nd and 6. All right, let's say Trinity runs it but doesn't get a first down here. Tigers use their last timeout. They'll be about 1:30. So you could then, if you run again, even if you don't get a first down, you can take it under a minute before you would have to potentially kick punt it, or depending how close, go for it. But we are in a situation now where one first down should end it.
Then again, I think if that situation where the Tigers do get back the ball with a minute left, I think as we were saying earlier, if they were going to kick it or not, they're going to go for it. They don't have to get that far down the field to get in Osada's range for that 3 points to tie it all up, which is kind of, again, your point of first down is so important.
Exactly, and if the Tigers can get their hands on it with weapons like Hyder and Carter and Robinson, they can get some chunk yards quickly. All right, handoff to Grant. He gets 4 yards. It'll be 3rd and 2. Woodbury does expend their final timeout. Just like we said, there's exactly 1:30 to go. So one thing that is going to be unfortunate for the Titans, though, is in that play, Trey Grant's, and now they're rolling the clock. Maybe, I guess Woodbury elected to not. So Woodbury doesn't use the timeout. Now they do. The original stoppage of the clock was for the helmet coming off of Trey Grant. And so Woodbury ends up using their last timeout with 1:20 left.
I mean, that's 10 seconds, though.
Let some time run off there, yeah. It's going to be 3rd and 2, and it's third in the ball game. I mean, if you convert here, it's over.
That's true. Yeah.
If you don't, if it's 4th down,
I think the second half, fourth quarter, they've had some of the most important 3rd down plays we've seen the entire game on both the Titans and Tigers side, where we saw the Tigers having to make that 3rd and then the 4th where they failed, and then the Titans with that 3rd and long where they were able to make a lot of yards with Deuce Edwards. I mean, again, we're in a very important 3rd down where we see
so many huge plays today, and the last 2 4th downs have gone the Titans' way, both the offensive conversion and the defensive stop. This is just a 3rd and 2. Devion Brown, 1st down, Titans! And that should just about do it.
1st down, Titans.
Tigers with no timeouts left, and Devion Brown embraces Tegan Logan. It was a war. Got to give a lot of credit to Woodberry for fighting back, taking the lead after being down by 14, but on senior day, the Titans are about to be Prep League champions again.
I mean, yeah, run it here, take it even. I mean, just don't drop that ball.
Well, we do remember a play 2 years ago where we thought we'd won a game and it was not over, but that should be it. I'm looking at a play clock that has more time than a game clock, and it was a hard-fought game for sure, but that is going to do it, folks. The final score is going to be Trinity Episcopal 33, Woodberry Forest 30, and this is one of the tightest home games certainly that we've seen since your sophomore year. And on senior day, the Titans are gonna come out on top, and at the end of the day, they deserved it.
Yeah, I'd agree.
But I got to give Woodberry a lot of credit. They're a young team. I mean, some of their best players are sophomores and freshmen. They have their huge rivalry game against Episcopal coming up in a couple of weeks, and certainly wish the Tigers a lot of luck as they represent the Prep League in that game. And for the Titans, they got another huge win next week. So got a 4-point win last week at St. Christopher's, 3-point win today over Woodberry, and next Friday night, the regular season finale against the Cadets of Benedictine. Game's going to be at Huguenot High School. Not sure yet if we're going to be there, but we hope to be there. We'll definitely get the exact details out on our social media channels. So that one, Silvio, like, I'm still catching my breath, man. I have to go back now that all's well that ends well for Titan Nation. That 4th down and 3 back at the 27 with about 6 minutes left was a stressful play.
For sure.
And Tegan Logan, who was gutting it out today, made a huge throw. Deuce Edwards made a huge catch.
Yep.
They drove the rest of the length of the field, got the go-ahead touchdown, and when the defense needed to make a huge stop on 4th and 4, they did. And I'd love to get your final thoughts on this massive Senior Day Prep League championship winning victory.
I mean, what a game. The running game was so strong. Some of my favorite players, Trey Grant, 4 touchdowns. What a game by him. I mean, Devion Brown, James Woodward also doing their work on that run. Tegan Logan, definitely did struggle with the throwing game. We saw that. He came up when it mattered, made those plays, and I want to give my credit to the O-line. I mean, what a performance. When you see those running backs, like, oh, what a game by the running backs. What a game by the O-line, making a lot of holes, making a lot of gaps that, overall really affected this overall situation. And so definitely a lot of credits to those guys today. And great win on senior day. Can't be more happy to see watch my friends celebrate to a great maybe last home game of the year.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and see if we can get a post-game interview here. Sent Ash Bell to try and grab one of the seniors, and I was a little late informing Ash of that. So we may or may not get that, but stick around for just a minute because we're hoping to get one of the senior leaders for a quick post-game chat. We've had some fun with our post-game interviews. Jack Toscano a couple years ago. We had Mario Thompson last year. And of course, as you can imagine, the guys are celebrating. So not positive yet if we've got anybody lined up, but don't stop the stream just yet. And while we wait, I mean, looking ahead to the Benedictine game, Cadets undefeated this year. They have blown out most of their competition, yep. So it's going to be a massive challenge next Friday night, but it should be a fantastic atmosphere. Cadets, Titans, huge rivalry, under the lights, neutral field.
Oh, it's going to be so exciting.
Rematch of the last 2 state championship games, and it's just so much on the line for that ball game. Gosh, just 6 days from now. I'm not. I don't know. I don't see Ash. I don't see any players. We may not have the post-game interview, but we may. I'm not giving up hope yet. All right, I'm going to say my bad on that one because I should have thought ahead a little bit and got Ash to try and grab a player just a little bit earlier. So I think unfortunately, they made their way to the locker room before we could get to them. So no post-game interview today, but hopefully, if we get a good win next Friday, we'll try and line that up if we're fortunate enough to host a state game. But hold on. Ash is coming back. No? Yeah. Okay. We're gonna sign off. So Silvio, I'm gonna give you the last word. It's your senior day. You've been doing these games for 3 years. We've had over double-digit games together. I don't know the exact number of these last 3 years up in this booth, and I'm gonna give you the final word today.
I mean, what an honor. I mean, what a game though. Perfect day. I mean, the weather outside is probably beautiful. Maybe a bit harder than I would have liked, but what a game by the Titans. I think a lot of them played really hard, saw the emotion, and I know they're really excited about the win. I'm really excited about the win, and a lot more to come from the program with this year and the years to come.